So now let's look at the framework to think about for business model. There are 4 key components to it. The first one that we want to start with is where we start all the time. That's with our customer. Let's look at this through the eyes of our customer. How would we do that? We've just done the analysis in the decision-making unit and decision-making process. And now we're going to utilize that to figure out what type of business model would they feel most comfortable with. Our business model needs to take that into consideration. We want to decrease the risk for them. We want to decrease the friction for them to make a decision.
You say risk. What exactly do you mean by that?
So if you think about the case of an ESCO, which is an energy service company, they come in and they put equipment into a building like this or any building to increase the efficiency, to decrease the cost of energy. So what they do is they come in and they will install that, but the customer doesn't realize the benefits until later. So they have come up with a shared savings business model that says, we will get paid once you realize those savings. And that has made it very easy for the customer to acquire their services because they don't have to pay until they see the results. Now, that's almost an ideal scenario, and it's hard to implement in most situations because it's hard to track, and you as a company may not be able to sustain it. But
it pushes the risk from the customer to you.
What we're saying in designing a business model is not that we're going to take the risk or the customer takes the risk. It's not a zero-sum game. A business model, when well designed, can eliminate risk for both the customer and the startup and the new venture. And that's the ideal business model because that's a win for both sides. So risk is a factor when people buy. Sure, it's cost, how much value, but there's also the risk factor. And that's very, very important. Think about if you're buying a stock. It's not just, what the price is, when do you buy it, what do you think of the long term? It's how risky is that stock as well. And so it's likewise here when you think of a customer. So a good business model can decrease the risk for you and for your customer, and that is a successful business model.